I died at the hands of my own brother, all because I'd ruined his chance to be a hero and cost the girl he loved. But the heavens gave me a second chance. I woke up on the very day everything first went wrong. Old Commander Nolan Cole slipped and fell into the water while his guard, my brother Silas Hale, was setting off fireworks with our foster sister Wren Hale. This time I didn't rush to find Silas. Instead, I jumped into the water without hesitation and pulled Nolan to safety. Last time around, I had run to fetch Silas. He arrived just in time to rescue Nolan, and from that day forward, the commander regarded him a hero. Silas's career soared, and he quickly rose through the ranks. But that same day, Wren's fireworks sparked a fire. She suffered severe facial burns, and the trauma was too much for her to bear. In the end, she took her own life. Silas had remained unnervingly calm afterward, insisting it was nothing more than a trap. Yet the day my college acceptance letter arrived, he seized the iron poker from the fireplace and struck my leg repeatedly. His face twisted with rage as he shouted, "Commander Cole can swim perfectly fine. Why did you have to go get me? If you hadn't been trying to grab my attention, Wren never would have died. And now you think you can leave for college and start over? Not a chance. Your future, your whole life, you're going to spend it making up for what you did to her." He attacked me until I lost consciousness. A loud splash cut through the air. The man walking a few steps ahead of me lost his footing and plunged straight into the water. My heart hammered violently against my ribs. I glanced toward the nearby grove of trees. It would only take a few minutes to run there and find Silas. But without a second thought, I turned and dove into the water. The current was gentle and the water shallow, but Nolan had already passed out, making the situation far more dangerous. I summoned every bit of my strength to drag him back to the shore. He still hadn't regained consciousness, so I cleared his mouth and nose and began chest compressions. Moments later, he coughed up water, though he remained unresponsive. I remained calm, pulling a piece of saved candy from my pocket and placing it in his mouth. Finally, his eyes fluttered open. What happened? His gaze was dazed as it met mine. I exhaled in relief. This time I was the one who had saved him. "You likely passed out from low blood sugar and fell in, Commander Cole." It was a very close call. The sound of his title made his gaze sharpen, and he studied me carefully. "Kid, who are you?" I tensed. My choice of words had aroused his suspicion. "I'm Silas's sister, Freya." Nolan's confusion lingered. "I've met Silas's sister before. Her name is Wren. I didn't know he had two sisters." My hands clenched into fists. To everyone else, Silas only had one sister after our mother's death. Wren, our father's newly adopted daughter, was the only one he cared for. If Silas cared more about staying with Wren than becoming Nolan's rescuer, so be it. This time I would seize that opportunity for myself. I offered Nolan a faint, bitter smile. "I'm Silas's biological sister, but he's always preferred our foster sister. It makes sense you haven't heard of me." Nolan looked taken aback by the complicated family dynamic. He then noticed my soaked thin clothing, and guilt crossed his features. "I apologize deeply. You saved my life, yet I questioned your identity. That was out of line." His sincere apology surprised me, despite knowing his strong moral character. "Please don't apologize. It's only natural for someone in your position to be cautious. Besides, you've served this country bravely. Helping you is an honor." Nolan's eyes filled with approval. "You're sharp and sensible, not unlike Silas." At the mention of his name, he scanned the area and frowned. "Where is that boy gone?" I hesitated, feigning uncertainty. Nolan saw right through it. "You know where he is, don't you?" I nodded slowly. "Wren and I argued over some warm clothes, and she was upset. Silas took her to set off fireworks to cheer her up." Nolan's gaze dropped to my thin, tattered clothes, and his expression darkened. He had thought highly of Silas, seeing him as responsible and promising, but this was inexcusable. Leaving his post is bad enough, and over something like this? He can spend money on fireworks, but not proper clothes for you? Come with me. My daughter is around your age. You can change into something warm and avoid getting sick. I couldn't refuse, so I followed